Hello everyone, I'm ImKibitz and welcome back to Satisfactory, where we are off working in the Dune Desert here, trying to complete the space elevator and beat the game. The only thing is the final space elevator parts are a little, complicated. And we need tens of thousands of different items and materials. And I mean that quite literally. The requirements are insane. And out of all the resources in the world, we've kind of scooped up this stuff in this section. So we have to primarily rely on the Dune Desert, which will require us gathering practically every single item in the biome, transferring it to a huge item bus, and then centralizing it here, which scares me. But some good news at least, past Kibs has been busy, and a lot of the other items we needed throughout the world we have centralized at our main base. So really do just be wrangling this one biome, and every single resource we can find. So this will be probably the greatest grind of the entire playthrough. Well, besides the thing at our nuclear power plant where we're gathering water. That was by far the worst. But it's done, and the plant is working for the most part. There's a little hiccup last time, but it's technically handled. But it's not a concern. Moving on, it's time to start resource wrangling. So we have these main belt highways that I've built out and about. Now we actually have to put items onto those belt highways. Got a 600, is that copper? Oh, ooh, 600 copper, probably 600 limestone and 600 iron here, and then a little bit of coal. Right. Well, I have gathered resources before, and generally speaking, how I go about it is the same way every single time, where I build out a platform out towards a resource. I have this little logistics box I like to put next to it, and then I bring the material up and over to the logistics box, using straight belt build mode, try and even things out a little bit, and the resources go out towards the main belt highway. So then things could go up and over onto the belt highway. Though it might be easier to start as far back as possible. Like this is kind of midway through, and I think there's actually some resources back this way. Oh yeah, bud. I got some quartzarinsky out this way. I think these are both normal nodes, so this will be 1,200 Billy. 1,200 raw quartz. Okay, but there's also water back here. So maybe we could just process the quartz into quartz crystals back this way and then transport the actual quartz back to the main base area there? I'm not sure. Main thing is I think we'll just leave that, but we do need the coal. So the coal could come up this way and that could be like the end of the line. Well, then just to show off the rest of the example then, once I get items belted towards like the main highway here, I don't want there to be a lot of objects in my world. This is a 1,000-hour playthrough. So the less objects, the less lag. So when I'm building these belt highways, I connect up the power, drag the power lines as far as they can go, and then wherever the power lines stop, I replace the platform with a logistics platform. I'll bring the foundation to the ground so it's actually supported, and then I get rid of all the scaffolding here. So the belts are just kind of floating around. And so at the end of the day, there is lots of scaffolding that is made and destroyed, and what remains is just this nice little pathway here. And yeah, it's pretty simple, but again, less objects, less lag, and we have huge ambitions ahead of us. So we gotta try and control ourselves, at least for now. But man, everything looks so, have to hold back, have to relax just a little bit. Everything will look a lot better later on. Right now, it just takes so much time. But first logistics highway is done. Last little thing I need to mention is the rule I kind of follow when bringing back resources is I use a Mark 5 belt if it's 600 items per minute, and then I use a Mark 6 belt if it's 1,200 items per minute. So when we have the tens of thousands of resources brought back to like the centerpiece here, I have an idea of what the heck is going on. Like for Pete's sake, if we look back in Project Hoos, you can see that things are crazy. Numbers big. I'm not gonna keep track of all this stuff. So having the different belt types kind of helps future Kibs out. But now it's time for the final stage. Bringing everything into this centerpiece here. Now our big factory for all the space elevator parts is gonna be sprawling all over the place, but I do wanna have things centralized so I can measure what's going on. Because if I had to run from like A to B to C to D and all over the place, I would go crazy. Like once we get the belts over here, I've left a tile of space in between kind of like the main foundation and this aesthetic outcrop to not only give the build a bit of depth, but also so when the items get back here, we can nudge a little wall off into the corner and we can hide all of the belt entrances, or conveyor wall holes, kind of out of sight. All the belts instead will just kind of like run around a corner and be big chillin'. But wait, getting ahead of myself. Order of operations. Let's fill out as many belt highways as we can first. Then we'll start bringing things into the main base. And the next step was to go over to the beach. Or these things weren't too bad. Just a couple good nodes down this way that I had to scoop up. And all the coal. We have to get all the coal. We need so much coal. It's like 24,000 coal. Yeah. Got a lot of diamonds to produce. But scooped everything up, putting them underneath the water pipes, and they're skedaddling over here. For this little belt highway though, we're not using our normal blueprint because I didn't want to have any more of the big power towers this way, because I like seeing all of the hell spires, these big refinery towers, all over the horizon. And I didn't want those interrupting things. So just normal belt highway. And kind of like I was mentioning earlier, a lot of this is just grind, okay? Good news, at least, is there's not too much actually happening over this way. So once all was said and done and I grabbed the little stragglers here and there, I actually inputted the items into the main base. And I think it looks pretty good. The idea to have the belts just go behind these pillars here worked out fantastically. Mostly so I don't have to have either the conveyor wall holes on the concrete to contrast too much, and I can hide these types of walls back this way. And in the future, when we want to have like entrances and exits and balconies or whatnot, I can have a place for a doorway, because there's no doors that go directly through foundations. There's only doors that go through walls, go figure. We can just ploop those in. Nice. And then they're hidden from main view as well. But the best thing of all is with this belt highway done and that belt highway done, we're pretty much halfway through gathering all the resources in the biome. Except now's kind of like the hard part, where we have a few stragglers that we just have to, I don't know, figure out independently. And then there's also some like tricky resources like buried within our infrastructure or just lurking out in the cliff sides there. So instead of doing the difficult stuff, we're gonna do something a little bit more simple, a little bit more familiar. We're gonna make one more Hellspire for the Caterium here. Pretty much with all the Caterium, we gotta use it to the best of our ability. Boop. And so that means we have to put all of this into refineries. And if we're building refineries around here, it's gonna be in a Hellspire. We need thousands of refineries. They look cool. So yeah. We're gonna plop one down probably right here. Why not? These blueprints are available on Patreon, by the way. But anyway, the set is pretty straightforward. There is a tower base. Then there's kind of like the core of the tower, which is a little tricky to put on sometimes, because the blueprints don't like to work together super nicely. Like that little gap there causes huge problems. But so long as that gap is filled and everything is flush, you just keep on stacking the blueprints together until you have all the refineries you need. So it goes from the base here, then there's like the core of it, a little hat, so you can transition from core to core, and off you go. Each main core has 4 refineries, and because we had 1,200 Caterium per minute down that way, we had to build 20 refineries, fully overclocked. But at the end of the day, that's 600 Caterium ingots, baby! And more importantly, it was a nice change of pace from collecting up all the random resource nodes. But the big thing is, does it look cool or is it too much? No, that's so cool. I love it. I love it. Okay, then back to it. Let's get the other resources. And good news, I think I see a logistics path here. Oh yeah, perfect, bud. Look at that. There's some coal nodes down by the water here that I knew I had to get. And I was like, how am I gonna get them through the cliffs? Brr, brr, brr. And I just saw that path. It is perfect. Then from there, we can just scoot out to the left, grab some sulfur, and whammo, logistics path done. And it's pretty low. Like, I don't want too much, again, interrupting the view, right? So I'd say most of those belts are pretty well hidden. And then with most projects, once you have one little bit figured out, it's easy to connect up the puzzle pieces. Now all the coal joins in as well. Scoots off to the main highway here, and off to the main base we go. Done. And this is also where I brought all the Caterium ingots we made. They just go down this way, up here, and they're attached as well. So what? Are we done? We've gathered up everything from this side. We've gone to the beach, took a quick dip, stole the sulfur, and we've gotten all the random nodes as well. Just skewed them over, attached them to train tracks, whatnot, and whatever. So am I free? No, not just yet. One more major item highway to build. Way at the end of the road is a pit here, and there's resources we have to gather. So we need one more highway going from B back to A. And go figure, at first I was kind of thinking we'd just set up a truck to gather some of the resources here, but like 1,200 items per minute? It's just too much. Throughput, we need like, maybe like 15 trucks or something. I have no idea. Too many. But don't worry, we will still use trucks, but for now we need a belt highway. And I got an amazing idea. So the biome doesn't look too gridded out with straight lines, I added in this train track that's on a diagonal. It goes right into like the main base there. But what if that same angle continued on the diagonal towards the pit out there? Huh? That would be pretty cool. Now, will it be incredibly inconvenient for future kibs? Yeah. But rule of cool, am I right? Yeah. So let's just keep the angle by cutting through everything we've already built here. And off we go. Or wait, no way, dude. Are you for real? The one indestructible tree in the entire desert just happens to be in our way? Bro. Well, that's case only one thing we can do. We gotta go nuclear. Perfect. Not. The tree's still invincible. But very good news! Because we're using this blueprint here, the belts actually go over the tree. So the scaffolding, yes, clips through for now, but once we delete it, the belts will look fine and everything is good to go. And the pit has been harvested. All of its resources belong to Kibs and have been brought back, ready for processing, so we can save the day. Like, yeah, actually, I belted over all the items from over that way on a new highway, brought everything up via some conveyor lifts to this main floor here, and we're good. We have all of the items we need, except for the stuff that we have to convert. Because, yeah, whoopsie daisy, past Kibs kind of used all the copper in the world. But look, it is what it is. I gotta have my pasta, right? Oh, but wait, no. I forgot something. We need to gather up 30,000 water per minute. Oh, I hate gathering water. But at least past Kibs set up the water extractors. I thought with Satisfactory 1.2, they'd be doing some water changes or something like that, so I avoided doing all of the rest of the pipe work here. But 1.2 did not change the piping and waterwork stuff, so off we go, piping again. But this is the last thing we need to do. We just gotta flood a desert really quick. Easy peasy, am I right? Ha 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 ha. See, look at that, just took one quick boop and it's like done. Easiest thing in the world. Ha ha. But unironically, it is actually simple stuff. It just takes so much time, right? Next, and maybe one of the final steps here, is we want to pressurize all of these pipes. So one of the cool mechanics in Satisfactory is you can use pumps to bring fluids all over the place, or you can have a pressurization system. So I brought all this water all the way up to here, and then I connected the pipe from up there all the way back down to all these pipes down here with a series of valves. And what happens when you do this, you connect a high up pipe to the pipes down here, is all the fluids in these pipes don't need any pumps because they are kind of taking the head lift from way up there. So when the pipes go over here, they go all the way up this tower, go through this way, and up most of the hell spires without the need for a single pump. And you don't have to worry about pressurization or anything with this water tower mechanic here. So I'm gonna do the same thing, except on a much bigger scale. So future Kibs will never have to worry about pumping water anywhere ever again, unless I bring stuff up into the main base area there. But we will see about that. Oh, I'm dead. Okay. Ha! Thank you, Blade Runners. And future Kibs, you better appreciate this, buddy. Because after doing all of this belt work and pressurizing the 48 pipes here, I'm also going to bring them all the way over this way, around the side of the desert here, so we can yoink pipes whenever we need them for future projects, just so we don't muck up the view. Because it'd be so much easier just to bring the pipes on like a normal pipeline right across the desert here, but I'm like, I don't want too much blue interrupting my view. We already have enough, and yeah, it's a whole thing. But it'll be worth it. Oh my gosh, I really hope it's worth it. This took a lot longer than I thought. Oh my goodness. Woo, that's a pipeline. That is a pipeline. But thankfully, the last major pipeline we'll probably ever have to build in this playthrough, which is really good because I don't think I got it in me to do this ever again. I will say it super was worth it building it where I did, because the view, still fantastic, even with like the 30,000 water scooting around the back there. You can kind of see it just over the bend, but with everything else going on, it's like, it's fine. Speaking of other things going on, I cleaned up all the scaffolding so everything looks pretty, or I suppose at least purposeful. And I gotta say, looking pretty good. But what's gonna look even better are all the signs inside Project Hoos when we label everything green, because everything is done and ready. Oh, except for copper. Copper is actually not done. We have to make more with converters, but that'll be fine. The main thing is I have faced my fear of my overwhelming expectations for myself, and we have succeeded yet again. Fun fact, that was like the whole point of calling this project Fear. Like the F-E-A-R doesn't stand for anything, because fear is whatever you make it. And it's like a metaphor, man. Or maybe I'm just going a little crazy. Yeah, this was like a 70-hour project. Took me the better part of a month behind the scenes, and I am just wildly excited to finally move on. And if you're excited to see where the journey takes us, remember to leave a like and subscribe for more, because that is gonna be all for now. And until next time, I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and bye-bye.